basic introduction. Now I'm going to get a little more in-depth with the details and everything and how we did it. First and foremost, let's start off with showing you what materials you need. Okay. Don't mind my socks. First, you're going to need some sticky back Velcro. You can get it at a craft store, you can get it at Home Depot. It's cheaper at a craft store though. You need some good scissors. I use shears because they cut everything. Some safety pins, buy them at 99-cent store, craft store, doesn't matter. A marker, a crayon, permanent, doesn't matter what kind, but you need something to mark with. A tape measure, one that goes for a few yards is preferable. And last but not least, and most important, is this PVC pipe cutter. Now there's a lot of different kinds out there, so you can pick and choose whichever one is right for you. But this one cost a little, I think, less than $20, and it did a really good job. You just had to use a little bit of strength. So this is the basics, and then of course, as far as building materials, you need your PVC pipes, which we already cut, and I'll explain everything to you. So you need your PVC pipes, and then you need your joints. Now we use two different kinds of joints. We use something called the T-joint. It's called T-joint because obviously it's shaped like a T. And then we use another joint called the elbow, which is shaped like an elbow, which is why I call it an elbow. So, as far as the amount of materials that we needed, we took our own measurements, which is what you want to do first. You want to see how tall you want your facade to be and exactly how long you want it to be. Now, my fiance is a tall dude. He's about 6 and change, so we wanted something that was a little under 5 foot so that people could only see just about from the neck up, and they won't really be able to get into his equipment, but it's still not tall enough so that if people come by, they can still talk to him and not really worry about feeling uncomfortable having to tiptoe or anything. So what we ended up getting was 4 10-foot PVC pipes. The thickness that we ended up getting was 1 1/4 inch, and we also got 4 individually cut 2-foot 1 1/4 inch PVC pipes. And as far as our joints, we bought 8 elbows and we bought 6 T's. And I'm going to show you how we put everything together. Now this is where your tools start to come into play. You're going to need your tape measure and your marker. Most important. You're going to make your markings on the PVC pipes where you want those measurements to be. Now, take into account you always want to have something extra just in case your measurement was off. So it's not a bad idea, say you want something that's 4'4", to give yourself an extra inch or two to make it 4'5" or 4'6", just in case you made it too short. Because remember, when you have something longer, you can always cut it down. But if you cut it too short, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to have to go and get more materials. Alright, so keep that in mind. After we cut all of our equipment, we ended up putting everything together. So, what we wanted to do was, this is where everything came into play. These PVC pipes here with the red lettering, these are our individually cut 2-foot pipes. Alright, you can see, I don't know if you can see it here somewhere. It has the measurement on all the pipes. You see 1 1/4 inches. All the pipes will have the measurement for the thickness. Alright? Let me take off this top layer so I can show you exactly how the frame was set up. Now, it's not completely finished. This was just our rough draft because we wanted to show you guys. But we can easily just take off this fabric so we can show you how we jointed everything. Now, as I'm peeling it off, you're better able to see where everything is connected. Okay. So, we wanted something that was about 3/4 of a square. So you have the arms and the body. It's something he can easily walk in and out of, enough to put room for a table or 2 tables, a long table, something so he has enough room for his mixer, his amp, his turntables, whatever he needs. Alright? We also wanted something that was very lightweight and very portable, but yet very durable and sturdy, which is why we ended up going with the PVC piping. Because you can have somebody even leaning on it and you don't have to worry about it really going anywhere and doing anything because we put enough supports. So for our arms, what we did was that we took the 2-foot piping, put one on the top and one on the bottom. For our height support, we took a 4-foot by 2-inch PVC pipe, put it between the two arms. We connected them with the elbow joints. That way you have this nice rounded, even, sturdy ground. When we built our arm, because we needed to connect to the body, we put a T right here. And what we also did is that, see if you can see it here, right in here is a small 2-inch piece of PVC piping. Now the reason we put this 2-inch piece of PVC piping between is because we needed to be able to get the roundness of this joint so we could actually have the arm bend. Now if you just try to connect the arm to the body, you're not going to be able to do that with just an elbow. So this was a dual joint right here needed. So you connect your arm to the T, you put your 2-inch piece, and then you connect the elbow. That way you have no problem connecting that to the body. We put a support in the center because, you know, people might come, they might want to lean and talk to the DJ. So because of that, we decided we wanted to have something a little extra supportive. So we put the T in the center. So we have this piece here is 2.5 feet, our T, and this is another 2.5 feet. So we have a 5-foot width across. In the center for support is another 4-foot 2-inch PVC pipe. Again, basically, it's just, again, we connected the other side the same way. We have the elbow here. Between the elbow and the T is another 2-inch piece of PVC piping. You can't see because we already closed the gap. You have your T, your other arm, and your elbow. Then you have your height. And it's basically what's done on one side was done on the other. Everything was just a mirror image. So whatever we did on the top, connecting this with the elbow, the 2-inch, and the T, we did on the bottom here the same way. We have the elbow, the 2-inch, and the T. So this was the basics of our frame. When we decided this was the height we wanted, and this was sturdy enough for us, it's easy to take apart. We didn't glue anything. We don't need any nails. We don't need any screws. You don't need to hammer anything in, to drill anything. This is all basically like a Lego piece. You just stick everything together. Everything will fit. You just have to make sure that all your pipes are the same size. Because if not, you're going to end up with a frame that's tilted to one side, or higher to one side, or lower, and it's not going to be sturdy, and it's going to fall apart. Okay? So we got our frame together, and what he wanted is he wanted a black facade. So we decided we'll go to the fabric store and we'll find a nice piece of fabric. Now it doesn't matter what fabric you could use, it's whatever taste you want, whatever color you want. Could be satin, silk, sheer, opaque, velour, doesn't really matter. It's whatever makes you happy. We wanted something that was durable, that was strong, that we don't have to worry about tearing, it's not going to be easily seen through. So we just picked a nice kind of black linen nylon fabric. Go to your nearest craft store, pay $2, $3, $4 a yard, no problem. We ended up getting 4 yards because we measured the height, made sure it was 60 inches wide, and then we got something that was 12 feet long. So we ended up getting 4 yards, so we'd have enough to work with, like I said, just in case you don't want to cut it too small, because then you'll have to get extra. So we got extra, so that way we were able to cut off, and it was measured perfectly. There's a couple different ways you could do this. We decided that we were just going to make it a real easy way to do. Maybe later on we might change something else. Basically, all he wanted to do was cover the front of the facade so that it looked like it was one solid piece. The back of it, you won't really be able to see unless you come behind the roof itself. Also, even though the piping is white now, our finished product, we'll put another video on later of everything finished, the PVC piping will actually be sprayed black. Just go to your, like I said, go to your hardware store and get some black plastic spray paint specifically for plastic. You could get that again for $5, $6, $7 a can. Not a big deal. Alright, so first thing we did was that we took the fabric and we draped it over. Now this is where your safety pins come into play. I still have some here because I was still doing the corners. So what you're going to do is you're going to put safety pins wherever you want to mark that this is where you want the hem to be. So I already did my safety pins, and after I marked where I wanted everything to be, I decided now, since everything is set, I can do my Velcro. The sticky back Velcro makes it really easy because you can stick it on the pipe where you want it to be. The other end will stick, you can leave it like this when you stick it on, so you have the both pieces, the front and the back of the Velcro, and then you take your fabric and wherever you want it to be, you just lay it over and you hold it down, and that will be a temporary hold for you. Now I would not suggest just leaving it like this, because what could happen, somebody will pull and the fabric will come off. What I'm going to do after everything is done is I'm going to take this Velcro and I'm actually going to tack with the needle and thread through the Velcro onto the fabric. It's going to be black thread on black fabric, so you're not going to see it. That way it'll keep the Velcro onto the fabric, so you won't have to worry about it ripping off. Also, we're going to put a couple drops of crazy glue from the Velcro onto the PVC piping to make sure that gives it a better hold onto it, so that again the Velcro, the sticking tape from the Velcro won't come off. Alright, so like I said, you do your measurements with your safety pins, then you come back, you put everything with the Velcro where you want it to be, and using the sticky back Velcro makes it very easy to change things. Just in case you did a measurement wrong or it didn't come out the way you wanted, you just take the Velcro off and you can stick it right back on. Now for the corners, like I said, I still have the safety pins, because what I'm going to do is that to make sure it's even and it's round and you don't see any extra fabric on the outside, I'm going to make a couple little tacks here with the needle and thread, just sewing the piece together and then using again the Velcro to hold it down. So this is this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the facade around so you can see what it looks like from the front. Now I'm not a big girl, I'm only about 5'4", 100 and some odd pounds, but even I can easily move this facade. So don't be too concerned about, you're not a big guy, you can't do it. This is why we did PVC piping. And 1, 2, 3, the facade was turned around, and there you go. This is your homemade facade. Now as you can see, the sheet is nice and straight, it's pulled tight, so you don't really have to worry about any creases, folds, or it looking uneven. The little creases that you may see was from when we brought the fabric home. Very easy to iron those out with a little spray starch so that you don't get those creases. You can take them out, steam them out, whatever you want to make it nice and straight. It's relatively opaque, so you don't have to worry about anything being seen through. And this is basically your finished product. Again, like I said, I'm only about 5'4", so if you are yourself around 5 foot, 5'5"-ish, you still have enough room to look and everybody can see you. You still have enough room for your tables, your mixers, your amps, your turntables, everything here. So this is our homemade DJ facade. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, we'll put up another video when our project is completely finished, when the piping is sprayed and all the fabric work is completely done. And thanks for watching. So have a good night.